Hey guys, welcome back. Today I am going to be working on week 49 in my 2022 Project Life album. Today I am using the Slow Days collection from Citrus Twist. So I've got the mini kit, I've got the printables or some of the printables, and the 6x8 stamp set. So this is such a lovely collection. It's almost like totally opposite season wise, I think, designed. But I love it, and I kind of am usually using like bright, saturated, summery colors at this point in my year. But I kind of love these more muted tones. They're really pretty, and they worked really well with my photos this week. So I started by pulling out some of the digital cards that I have already printed. I used two of the 4x6s and one 3x4 card because it's kind of hard to tell here. There's a 3x4 card on the left-hand side that is just white cardstock, but I actually swatched a little bit of the paint that I was using in the photo there. I painted our bathroom, and so I swatched some of the paint onto a 3x4 card, knowing that I would use it in my Project Life album. So I thought that was a fun way to kind of get the paint in there. So I haven't used that many cards. The bigger 4x6 down the bottom is going to have a little photo on it, so I've left room to add my journaling in there. So the other 3x4 card is just kind of a filler. I loved that little quote, "Let's do what we love and do a lot of it." And this particular week it involved resting and eating. So two things we love to do and don't do enough of around here. So I've added a few little die cuts. There always are a bunch in this kit. It's a really easy way to kind of decorate a Project Life spread like this. I really wanted to just get this done and get it done quickly, and using the die cuts was a super easy way to do that. So I love these kind of word art kind of pieces, and there are a few different ones in there, but they're also kind of replicated in the stamp set. So I was strategic about which phrase I was going to use where, so that I could use some in the stamp form and some in the die cut form. So the first one was a photo of my Christmas tree lights, which I finally got up in this week of December. It took me a while to get the Christmas tree up this year. I added grateful, and then in the second photo down here I used the stamp version of a small joys. I did my nails, got a Christmassy manicure, and that was the perfect kind of small joy there. Now I've stamped that directly onto my photo using tuxedo black ink. I print at home on Canon Photo Glossy 2 paper, so it stamps really nicely, and I wanted to layer some stamps on here, so I needed a coloured ink. I went and grabbed a Catherine Pooler one, Peach Bellini, so that I could stamp the little love heart underneath. I just wanted a kind of peachy coloured ink that kind of worked with the rest of the colours in the spread. Now, I seem to have lost my sand eraser somewhere along the line, so I have been prepping these stamps slightly differently to normal just by rubbing my finger over them a few times. Just you'll be able to see the difference. You can kind of take the gloss off the stamp. I use a sand eraser, you can use a regular eraser, you can just rub the stamp on your fingers like I've been doing a few times. Anything to kind of take that initial gloss off. Even if you do some stamping on like a scrap bit of paper beforehand, if you stamp the stamp 3 or 4 times, it will generally take that gloss off anyway. So there are a bunch of different ways to do it, and you really will notice the difference when you do that. Now I'm going to make a tiny mistake here because I want to stamp a stamp into the center of this kind of floral wreath, which I really love. It's beautiful. I'm intending to stitch on that afterwards, and I'm just going to stamp a stamp into the middle. And my mistake here is that I should have gone and grabbed some stays on ink. So I just used my same Memento ink. I can already tell it didn't stamp that great because of the different textures. So I've got paint top and bottom, and then there's just cardstock in the middle. So you can see the difference there. It also stayed wet. So that was my problem. I should have used the Stays On ink. It would have probably dried a lot quicker. So the spoiler is that I'm going to smudge that. I knew it was still wet. I tried to leave it as long as possible to let it dry. And we all know how this story is going to end. For my title card, I am using one of my favorite alphas. They're so pretty, these rose gold puffy alphas. I thought they worked perfectly with this week. There is an alpha set that comes in the mini kit, so they're little vinyl letters, and I just wanted something a bit bigger and a bit bolder because I'm not really going to do a whole lot to this title card apart from add a title. I thought with those like they look like fabric strips to me. It's a little bit kind of quilty looking. It looked like the perfect kind of frame just to add a title in there and kind of be done with it. So I needed something a little bit larger, and I really loved the kind of rose gold of these alphas. So I've just added them in. I tried to get it as centered as possible using my ruler guide. And then I'm not even going to worry about a label. I'm just going to stamp the date stamp straight underneath it, add my little heart, and call that done. So I don't really have a whole lot left to do. I'm going to add my journaling, and I decided I would do that on the kind of blank side, so flip that card around. I didn't use my typewriter this week. I did use, I reprinted the card. So I had already printed the 4x6 obviously, then I just set up a blank file in Photoshop, added my journaling and reprinted that through my printer just to add the journaling onto the top, attached my photo and added one of those tiny word stickers. Now this is where it all goes wrong. Of course, I went to add some stitching on a couple of those cards and totally smudged my stamp. It definitely wasn't dry. So I'm just reassessing. I'm going to have to not worry about my paint sample. I'm glad I put the other painting photo in there then. So I'm going to make my own kind of card here without the paint. I'm doing the exact same thing, just adding another one of those digital cards instead of my painty background. And that's this layout all done. Hey, if you love this kit as much as I do, I will leave the links for you down below in the description box. Thanks for watching today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, I'm going to leave a couple videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you again really soon. Bye.